So the safety position for the Jets, I think in previous years, they haven't cared as much about this position as I think many of us would have hoped. And that was pretty evident in their investment in the position. It was evident in the players they decided to play at the positions for long periods of time. It just seemed like they didn't really have the highest standard for that position in terms of what they expect the contribution to be. And in terms of their scheme, I guess, for the most part, it wasn't a critical part of the scheme. I think a lot of that is changing now with Aaron Glenn, and I think you're seeing that in some of what we're hearing back from him and other coaches and players and things like that about the way that the defense is practicing and putting things together. And so, obviously, I've mentioned this before in previous pods. I'm very glad that the Jets care about the position again, and I think that the way that the NFL is going, it's a crucial position if you decide to make it a part of your scheme. And I'm not saying that if you don't decide and you just kind of like say like, okay, I don't really care, safeties, please just make sure we don't get beat deep or whatever it may be, that it's not important. It's still important then, but I think there's some people who can weaponize the safety position, from a coaching and schematic standpoint that seem to stand out. And some of the top players we'll talk about, you can identify the way that they're used and why that's the case. So kind of starting with the Jets a little bit. We've heard Malachi Moore has been playing pretty well so far in training camp. You got some kind of, unprompted praise from Aaron Glenn, which is really cool. You definitely want that's always good news from a rookie, right? Is when you're getting that type of praise from your head coach. So it's definitely good news there. I think it has kind of made a good situation for that group in general, kind of having a rookie there to push everybody. Obviously, somebody like Tony Adams can't really sit on his laurels and expect to just have another year as a starter. So he seems to be practicing pretty well too, from all reports, or at least decently well. The competition, I think, your hope there is that it'll get him performing at his peak, but the physical aspect of their practices, they're doing a lot more tackling, a lot more other things that'll get people ready for contact once the season gets here.